Welcome to Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Hey, Tim, why did Superman have a brush with death when his suit was the wrong size? Because it left him with a narrow escape. The greatest
cool.
DC, you like that?
I do.
The greatest DC comic show is on YouTube, is live. It's Fanboys Live in the Retro Review for the very first Sunday in April. I'm Ryan. I'm Magic Lasso. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. We're going to start out like I always like to do, especially when I'm hosting the show, and we're going to take attendance because that is a fun part of the show. So, Tony Fett, are you here?
Present.
Oh, Tony Fett's here. Okay, good. Got him down on the list. Tim the Comic Collector.
Tim.
Going once. Well, that's a no-show. Flashpoint Comics is on my excused absence list.
Oh, okay.
And Comic Food 2814. This is the weirdest thing. I have him on excused absence, and then I have him on unexcused absence list.
Jeez. That's a tough one.
But he's higher up on the excused absence list, so it looks like he was placed there first. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because that's just how I am.
Sure.
And I'm going to give him excused absence this week. But if I was him, I wouldn't push my luck for next week. But that doesn't mean, even though we're down 2 fanboys, that we're in trouble, because I thought, you know what? We don't need 2 people to replace these 2 fanboys. I got one that's so awesome that can do the job of both. So let's welcome Sarah. She's silver-haired, Bronze Age babe. Welcome to Fanboys Live.
Thank you so much. Does this make me an honorary fanboy?
Absolutely. It's official.
I've dreamed of this day.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm really excited that you're here.
Oh, I'm thrilled you asked me. I really, I just love to talk about comic books with people who love to talk about comic books. So
yes, you and I have done that a few times successfully, I think. And
yeah,
I don't know if you know this, Sarah, but the last time that we collaborated, which was a deep dive about the non-powered Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, you and I did.
Right.
That day, you inspired something that hit my channel. So I do these weekly back issue of the weeks. They're YouTube shorts, about a minute long. Okay. And during the month of March, all of them were female-centric for Women's History Month.
I noticed
you.
I noticed that. It's like, oh, it never occurred to me that
that was your hands all over that.
Would do that. Thank you.
So thank you for the inspiration. That's what I love when you make friends in this community that inspire you to do something or be a better YouTuber in addition to a collector. So that's what I think it makes a great friend.
Well, and also the kind of friend who gets you to spend more of your money on stuff you didn't think you needed or wanted.
Exactly.
So first, we're gonna shout out the chat in just a second. Sarah, why don't you give me a number between 1 and 10?
I like number 8.
8. And Tony, why don't you give me a number between 1 and 10?
2.
8 times 2 is 16. So that's 16 demerits for Tim for being on the unexcused list, plus my 50. So if you're keeping track at home, that's where we're at right now.
Wait, is this demerit thing like a cumulative thing, like at your year-end party, you like celebrate?
That's a good idea.
Demerits?
Yeah.
I wanted to start a swear jar, but Tim just asked to start a tab.
Knowing Tim, I believe that. So
yeah. Let's see who is joining us live. And first of all, if you're watching on the rewind, it certainly is appreciated. The last Fanboys live that was on my channel just about a month ago, right now is at, I think, 99 views. So a lot of those came afterwards. And that certainly is appreciated that you want to take the time to watch us talk about DC Comics. It's appreciated. But tailgating with us is Entropy and Comics. Greetings to you. And then here's a friend of many in the community, the Jackson Roy Kirk is live with us right now.
Jackson Roy Kirk.
Yeah.
I've been invited to call him just Jackson.
Oh, really? I haven't gotten that far yet, but I can meow at him.
Okay.
I just meow, and that's acceptable. We have Squatchy Comics. Fu got fired.
Start the rumor. No, he's been
Right.
recast.
Oh,
Recast.
there you go.
Problem is, no one wants to wear the outfit. You see that Fu got his photo taken with Michael Ackery's family yesterday. That's been circulating on Instagram.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Bet that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I Collect a Lot is here. What is up to you? Thanks for stopping by.
What's up, bro?
And Beckerman, what is so cool, and I've told this before, but I'm going to tell it again. So Beckerman and I had the same LCS growing up, but we didn't know each other. But very well, we could have been at that same comic store at the exact same time and never knew it. And I think that that's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat.
YouTube is 90. What's going on, Chad? Thanks for stopping by today. Appreciate it. And we have an explanation why Fu is not here. He's hiding eggs.
Checks out.
Yeah. So let's give Sarah another proper introduction. For those that aren't familiar with your channel, how would you describe your channel? I would describe it as brilliant myself.
Oh,
I do enjoy your
You
content
always
too.
leave me wanting more. And I say that to you all the time, but you do. The videos, I always wish I had more, but that's perfect. So how
I
would
started
you
my
describe your
channel about because I had been posting book covers on a Tumblr, and that just kind of petered out. And I was like, yeah, but I got all these books. What should I do? What should I do? And I was poking around on the YouTube, and I saw two people in particular. Alan Garrett, his channel, and also Silver Age Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was just
like,
thinking that. You have to talk about Silver Age Dave.
Yeah, that is cool. So I literally had the idea at 9 o'clock in the morning. And by 11 o'clock in the morning, I had my first video up, which shows you how much effort I put into it. But basically, the silver-haired Bronze Age babe was meant to describe exactly what it is you'd be seeing on my channel. Silver and Bronze Age books from my collection. And I'm a DC gal. That's basically all I know. And anything after the Bronze Age, as will be evidenced here later, I know nothing. But I basically go through all, my collection, and I have about 200 videos on there right now, going through basically all I have. I've kind of slowed down in terms of how much content I produce, because I kind of ran out of the stuff that I had. So I'm on there sporadically, once or twice a month, I guess, talking about either new stuff I get in, or if something kind of appeals to me as like what I'd like to talk about. But so I'm a silver and bronze DC gal, and that's what's on my channel. So
there's a link
to it's been loads of fun. I absolutely love it. And I love the community here. I had no idea that people would be so nice. And, I got invited onto a couple shows, and Ryan and I have tried to do some of this stuff, and I have a blast. So thank you.
Thank you. There is a link to Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe in the description for this video. And you just got a new subscriber. You got White Tiger, Cool, Calm, Collected, which is Ruben Guzman.
Hey, well, thank you very much. Let me know what you think. And if anyone has any ideas of anything else you'd like me to yammer about on my, to do a video about, I'm all ears. Because I just love to talk about my comic books. I really do. It's cool. I've been I'm years old, and I've been collecting since I was about 11. So, this is a lifelong love affair for me with comic books. So
I love that. Thank you to Ruben for stopping by too. He had me on his live stream last night as he was drawing and I wasn't drawing, and he put up with me for a couple hours, and he just hit 200 subscribers last night. So congratulations to him. So that's awesome. And we want to say hi to Tyler. Shattered Glass Comic Reviews is here. Good to see you, my friend. We appreciate you stopping by.
What's up, Tyler?
Chuck White is here. He just got back from Half Price Books. but his wallet is saying differently.
Listen, that's one of those stores where I love going but hate going at the same time.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, how much is this going to cost me?
Yeah. Do you have half price books where you're at, Sarah?
I think so.
Okay.
It's kind of a hike, and I've been there once, and it just was like not fruitful.
Second and Charles, in my opinion, is a little bit better than half price books.
I don't have those in my area.
Yeah.
I've heard of them, but I don't have them. So
the problem with Second and Charles, a lot of people like finger through the comics and then just kind of pull them out and then just like leave them. So if they say this is the DC area, it's not true. It's the whatever area.
Yeah. And Beckerman is subbed to you as well. So that's awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah. So do we have any DC Comics news? Tony, what's been going on with DC?
Oh, man. So if you count all the fake articles that came out because it was April Fool's Day, and boy, there's a ton of them. I had to pick through some of the articles and pick out the ones that were, in my opinion, a little bit more legitimate. Mm-hmm. Some news articles were referring to tweets and leaks that happened pre-April Fool's Day. So those are the ones that had a little bit more credibility. A lot of the stuff has to deal with The Flash.
Yeah, you're right.
That the Flash movie itself, I guess, isn't as ending of the DCEU as everyone thought it was going to be. This hard stop and transition to something else. I guess it is wide open for the Snyderverse to come back full swing. And allegedly, Ben Affleck's Batman is still fair game to show up too. It is not like he dies or he's like, I'm not Batman anymore. It's just, I don't know how the movie ends. So I guess we'll have to wait and find out, but it is wide open for Ben Affleck to come back as Batman. Allegedly. We'll have to see if that's true. It is just hopefully more than a rumor, but at this point it is just speculation. Henry Cavill confirmed to come and do a cameo in Shazam 2, which is great. For all you Superman and Henry Cavill fans out there. I know he's got a cult-like following, so that's good news. DC, this was announced pre-April Fool's, but Warner Media, I guess I should say, because that includes the Discovery conglomerate is what I'm going to call it. I don't know what they're going to call themselves, but the head honcho of Discovery, who's overseeing the DC movie part of everything, is pushing hard for a DC Trinity movie, cool. Which will bring back Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, and Ben Affleck. And that's going to be a 2-part movie, which I think would be great.
I do too.
I think that'll be awesome. 3 great castings. I guess we kind of got that at the end of Batman v Superman, but if we could get like that kind of solid action in a movie with just the 3 of them, I think it'd be great. But everyone's talking about the whole Ezra Miller getting arrested in Hawaii, kind of leaving his acting career up in the future. But I would have to agree with when we were talking the last few days about it. There's got to be some kind of misdiagnosed or undiagnosed mental illness there.
The thing is, it's not funny.
It's not funny.
I'm being
as
serious
funny
as I can. What's going on with him isn't funny. There's some mental health problems that are going on. And I just hope that everything's able to get straightened out and no one ends up getting hurt in the process.
Yeah. Luckily, no one was injured in the incident. He just got arrested for disorderly conduct, which
but apparently afterwards there was some more stuff that went down.
Sure.
And not good stuff. But
yeah, he got it's just a fine. Disorderly conduct is a fine, but the stuff afterwards, it's a little bit more serious. He does have a restraining order placed against him about the random people he had this interaction with.
Yeah.
But I don't want to speculate too hard on it because it is still kind of in the air. Whether or not he's going to continue to be a force in the DCEU, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. That's where it is right now. Big fat question mark. But yeah, this is true. It's not the first time he did something wrong. But I guess the first time he did something wrong, more information was released that benefited him. It wasn't entirely his fault. I'd say it's about 60-40.
So we'll see. But
yeah.
Before we continue with news, and I got a couple of things, I just want to acknowledge a few people that have come in. Damien's here, Sleepy Reader / Sad Vision. Look at how Sad Vision looks.
Can I just say hi to Sleepy Reader?
Yeah.
And he suggested my what is my latest video on my channel of Little Dot and Little Lotta, because he had said, hey, have you ever read those? I'd be curious to see what you think. And so I hadn't, so I bought some, so I did. So thank you, Sleepy Reader. So that's why you'll see a video about Little Dot.
Cool. Also stopping by today, Andre Rossi. Now, this is my friend Andre that you hear me talk about from Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
And today,
there he is.
Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Andre.
So, Andre, thank you for spending some of your birthday with us. I know where you're at. It's just about over. But in celebration, Tony Fett will now sing happy birthday to you.
In Portuguese.
Oh, go for it.
Because they speak Portuguese in Brazil. Yes. I can't do it. Sorry. The only Portuguese I know is Visitor da Casa, which is probably way wrong. I think it means, can I have a tour of your home?
Tour of your home.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Let's
see.
Say hello to Jean Malo, or I call them Malo cups. But in Canada, they don't have Malo cups, so he has no idea what I'm talking about.
He doesn't understand how funny that is.
I'm not going to AOK him comic books. I'm going to AOK him candy. So, God. And we got Jackson Roy Kirk giving a little dot yay. That's cool. We got a thank you from the birthday boy, which we appreciate. No news. Have you heard anything, Sarah?
I watch their claim sales on Facebook and Instagram, and he is among us still. And in Oakland,
what happened? I haven't heard nothing.
Some kind of he had sepsis last year and was hospitalized and very nearly died, and so he's been at home. You don't see him on the Facebook page anymore. He used to come into those sales and chat with people as they were moving merch and all that. But his daughters say that he's at home, he's doing okay. But apparently, if you get sepsis at age 80, it can be a little, recovery period can be a little dicey. But he's still with us and working on art, so.
We'll send him prayers too.
Yeah.
Speedy recovery to him.
Yeah.
Tony's here, Old Wolf 65.
I've
Great
been
to
here.
see ya.
I'm just teasing.
not that Tony. And Jean is still waiting to taste those Malo cups. Soon. We'll work on that. More news.
Yeah, more news. Sorry, I know there's a lot of news. Sharon Stone cast in the Blue Beetle movie as the villain.
Really?
Victoria Cord.
Interesting
casting. Have any of you ever seen the TV show What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
It's a really funny show on Hulu. And I cannot pronounce his name. Harvey Gillian has been cast in the Blue Beetle movie too, and he was part of that show. That was pretty cool. I think that's all the news I got.
I just got a couple more things to add in too. Sure. It looks like Batwoman is going to be getting a 6-issue limited series, and this is going to be the Earth Prime Batwoman. So this is the one that we see on the TV show on the CW, the Ryan Wilder character. And she is going to take on Clayface in this 6-issue story arc. And there's going to be an appearance by another Earth Prime, aka Arrowverse character, Lena Luthor.
Yeah.
So that will be coming out soon. And have either of you ever heard of It's Game Time?
I know.
Okay.
Nope.
1955, It's Game Time came out, and issue number 2. I think it's one of, if not the first, DC comic publication with the code on it, the Comics Code Authority on it. This is a scarce book. Overstreet has labeled it as scarce. There are no copies of it on the CGC registry.
Ooh.
There is a copy of it for sale this week in Heritage Auction.
For how much?
I don't know. I don't know if the auction started yet. It might start tomorrow.
can be
But,
yours if you put 5 mortgages on your home.
Now they say that it's more like an activity book than it's a comic book, but there is comic book portions in it, but it's got like puzzles and word games and stuff in it too. But it is published by DC Comics and it's one of their rarest titles. Hello to Dan Piercy.
Dan the man.
Yes, good to see you.
One of the most underrated channels in my opinion. Under a few hundred subs for sure. So everybody saw
and a fellow Wonder Woman fan.
Fellow Wonder Woman fan. He had one of the holy grails of Wonder Woman and he sold it, in my opinion. I think he had a Gal Gadot signature.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Luckily I have one of those or I'd be upset. Super Ross 9000. Hey y'all, back to you. Good to see
Ross.
Yeah. So that's what I have for news. If you're caught up, are you caught up with news, Tony?
That's everything I got.
Okay. So our stories tonight, and I say stories with an S, was picked by our special guest, silver-haired Bronze Age babe. So tell us why you picked these stories.
Well, I like Superman. And part of my collection includes a Superman run, basically all of the Silver Age, like from 1957 through 1979. Like I have every book, and it took me 40 years to do it. So my first thought is always, well, gosh, what's interesting to talk about Superman. And because of world events and things in Russia and Ukraine, this story, Superman number 300, touches on, it's a speculative story about what would happen if Superman landed in 1976 rather than in the 1930s or, whenever. Yeah. And what if the United States and Russia were kind of fighting over him? Like, what do we do? So that's why I suggested this particular book. And I don't know if you want to talk about the other one coming up, but
we'll start there. Tony, can you bring me up an assist too, by the way, as I say hello to Gore Vidal. Thank you for...
What was that issue again? I'm sorry.
300.
300.
Yeah.
Volume 1?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm such an old fart. I had to learn what volumes meant on comics.
I want to say, I think that was horrible. That issue is not on the DC Comics app. That's a great issue, and that is not on the app.
So I made this doubly hard for you guys to do this.
Yeah, but we're going to review it here, and that's going to be the beginning of our reviews, and you're going to see if it's worth your time digging into to search it out. But I found a copy of it, and I was able to read it too.
Just for the cover alone, I mean,
it's pretty iconic. The comic book G-Spot, Mr. G is here. Nice to see you.
Comic book G-Spot. That's an awesome name.
Gets you every time.
Yeah, I'm working on. Hold on. Okay. I'm thinking about it. 300. There it is.
So I'll tell a story why Tony's working on that about Superman 300. That I don't know if you know this. I read this somewhere on the interwebs, as you like to say. There was this boy, and his dad was working at Pinewood Studios over in England, and in the mid 70s, his dad was telling him they're making a Superman movie here where I work.
Oh.
There's this guy dressed as Superman. And he said to the boy, do you want to come to work someday and see Superman? Oh yeah, I want to come. So he came to the lot to see Superman. He brought this comic book with him.
Oh.
And he got to meet Christopher Reeve in costume. He asked him, will you sign my comic book? Which he did. And Christopher Reeve said, this is the first autograph I've signed of Superman. So this, and he showed a scan of it and everything. It was signed with a ballpoint pen on that cover.
That's crazy.
That would be what a treasure.
Yeah. But
that would be something I'd hold on to forever.
Okay, so the story is again, it's a speculative story about what could have happened if he landed in the year of 1976. And the thing to know is that that's when this book came out. This was from June of 1976. So
happening in 2001.
Yeah, it gets there. Yeah, it's time.
I just love it right here. Nowhere else in the world will you find the year is this on like a big tower because people
Right.
forget.
Yeah.
The height of futuristic stuff.
Just the year, not the day, the week,
Yeah.
the time, just the year.
So you get a lovely prologue of the kryptonite, one-page Krypton prequel there, which we all know and love. And then you get this really nifty page of the Russians and the Americans racing to the ocean, where this, instead of Kansas, it's landing in the ocean. And so you can see the two countries are like, oh, must get this, whatever this is. And as you'll see, there's one of my favorite panels foreshadowing the potential of mutual mass destruction. And bad helicopter pilots, they run into each other, blow up, and a frogman comes down, lands in the water, and claims it, and it is claimed for the United States. And then they take him to a military base, and here is my all-time favorite panel of this entire story. They're futzing around with the space capsule, and it opens up, and it's, oh my God, it's a baby inside, and they shoot him in the face with a laser. Because why wouldn't you do that? So they basically they dress him in tights, and they name him Sky Boy. And they basically decide to keep him a secret from the Russians and the rest of the world. Isn't this fun? We've got this super thing, how cool, let's keep it to ourselves. At some point, I think it's around there, I think they talking about a time jump, they jump you to 1990.
Yep, right here.
And yeah, high-tech advances, are all around, but threats abound, as evidenced by that panel there, where there's a dome, a protective dome over the White House, because the world is a super scary place. Now, the good news is that in 1990, a woman is president of the United States. Yay. Did they, if only that were true. But so the US president confirms that, yes, we actually have Sky Boy. And the Russian president is basically demanding that he be a ward of the United Nations, not the United States. And it's because the Russians view Sky Boy as a weapon, not as, just a nice person in tights who can fly. And then meanwhile, in an unnamed third country, you've got these guys at the bottom panels here who are scheming like, oh my God, wait a minute. We're in our evil lair, and we realize that perhaps we could take advantage of this situation and start a third world war, and get them to fight each other. They'll, mutually destruct. We shall win. And so the army, who basically is keeping Sky Boy in an underground bunker for all of his entire days, go over and they tell Sky Boy, oh, by the way, you have to decide what to do, because do you want to, stay here? Do you want to, become a ward of the United Nations? We love you, kid, but there's a lot at stake. And but the decision is delayed because the unnamed third country basically convinces both the United States and Russia to start launching missiles at each other. And at one point, I think it's in that panel there, it's like the Russian president saying, what is that woman president doing? I don't know. Sexism. Yay. It was cool in 1970s. Yeah. So Sky Boy basically spends the next 3 pages preventing mass destruction. The art is kind of cool in it. And it's Kurt Swan is doing the art in this thing, and I think it's wonderful Kurt Swan, Bronze Age stuff. So after he saves the world from all of these missiles, Skyboy basically decides to disappear because he's like, I'm too much trouble. And there's that panel right there where you see him where he's kind of disappearing right on the top.
Yeah, it's kind of transparent. Yeah.
Don't you just love comic books? I mean, it's just so great. So he decides to disappear literally. And then you have a nice little section there where he, dons Clark Kent glasses and clothing and names himself Clark Kent after the two guys who, the guy who swam up and claimed him was somebody, Clark, and the general who kept him in the cave but was nice to him was, General Kent, somebody or other. So he names himself Clark Kent. He takes his little Superboy outfit and throws it into the ocean because they don't need it. He's like, I don't want to do it. But then we get to the time jump to 2001, and look how futuristic the world is there.
I remember these days.
Yes.
That's Times Square, by the way. It's supposed to be Times Square.
Oh, that's supposed to be Times Square?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does say Times Square. Yeah, New Year's Eve.
What I kind of got a kick out of was that panel down there that's basically your kind of the on-demand system there. What would I like to watch?
Yeah, in your floating chair.
Wrong.
Yeah, I need me a floating chair.
Yeah, now we're talking. So basically, you jump to 2001, and in Times Square appears a bad guy who is named and by the way, there's Clark Kent, who is a journalist. And aren't you sad though that really outfits in 2001 didn't look like that?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought the ascot was here to stay.
Yeah. So in Times Square appears this dude with 4 arms, and he's called Mocha or Maca. I like Mocha just for, maybe a Starbucks. Sure. Anyway, he appears in Times Square claiming that he was the one who averted World War III back in 1990. And as such, he is deserving of the title of dictator of all of you. And so the former Skyboy is having none of that. And so Clark goes back to the ocean where, right where he dropped his little outfit, and apparently it was still there all these years. And so we have that nifty Superman flying out of the ocean panel, a very heroic return. And then you've got 3 pages of basically Superman and the 4-arm guy going at each other.
I gotta take a brief pause I got a crying kid that needs some attention.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'll be back in just a minute. Continue the story.
Yeah. So you've stopped at a great panel. It's one of my favorites too, because this, lest you forget that Superman in the 70s could be kind of annoying. In addition to beating up the guy, the Maca fellow, he starts lecturing the assembled masses and says, wise up, you gullible fools. Your self-proclaimed savior is merely a jumble of bolts and wires. It's a robot, you see. So learn to face reality. See he is a fake. His promises are fake. Even his claim to your respect is fake. And then he goes on to basically, in the Superman way that he always has, of lecturing those around, the folks of Metropolis by saying that people of Earth, I owe you all an explanation. Do not fear me. It wasn't this plastic container who saved you from a world from a Holocaust. It was someone who wanted you to look not to heroes and false gods, someone who has enough faith to know that your salvation is within all of you. And they, of course, go crazy. Oh, my God, he's a Superman. And then Superman's like flies off. It's like, I've done my thing. And later on, of course, the folks of Metropolis build a statue to him because that's, you know, what happens with Superman a lot. They like to build statues to
Yes.
this guy. And Superman actually, Clark Kent makes kind of a return visit and is chatted up by a nice, friendly young lad with red hair who looks to me like a little Jimmy Olsen, but maybe that's, you know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But he said, Mr. Kent, Clark Kent, you're always telling us what's going on in the world. Tell me, will we ever see Superman again? And the story ends with Clark saying, the world is on a pretty steady course these days, but if it's unfortunate enough to need a hero again, I'm sure he will return.
Yeah.
So that.
Love this comment. Supermansplaining.
There you exactly.
That sounds like the topic of a video on your channel, you know?
Oh.
Where you pull out a couple of some Supermansplainings.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
That what you just saw was a light bulb going off.
Yeah.
And I want to say hello to the Generation X-Men. I'm not sure if this is Jonathan or if it's Robert or both of you, but excellent new channel too. And their live discussions, which are interactive with the community, are so much fun. So thanks for being here too. Yeah, so this story I thought was fun.
Yeah, you know, it's I liked it a lot. I thought, you know, having it was kind of timely speculation in 1976 because, you know, the Cold War was still going on, you know, and Ronald Reagan hadn't taken office yet. You know, he was 4 years away from the presidency, where he just basically took on the Russians and bankrupted them, and down came the Soviet Union. So, you know, and I think I always love origin stories, the Krypton, you know, that whole thing. I think it captures the best of his origin story. And even though it's flipped around, the grief that he feels at losing not only parents on Krypton, which in this thing he doesn't seem to have any knowledge of, but the parental figures that he loses in the middle of the story when he decides to take off and, you know, disappear. I think that's such a vital part of Superman's story is, you know, his connections to the humans.
Yeah. Do we know who wrote the story, by the way?
I can figure it out. I think it's Carrie Bates and Elliot Magan.
Okay.
And they were writing a lot of these stories in the 70s.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about this issue before we move on, the scene where the super baby arrives and he's flying around and he's looking for food, he's hungry, and it's expressing this in every language that he's hungry.
Right.
As I was reading this page, I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, he's going to fly and get himself a Hostess cupcake.
Right.
Because it reminded me so much of the Hostess cupcake era.
They always advertise those little Hostess pies. You know, how great of a product placement would that have been?
Yeah, I think in that issue, though, the Hostess ad was the Joker. And I think it was like right on the first or second page.
It was. Yeah, you're right.
I see that ad all the time. They should have just placed it right in the story.
That's right. It would have been perfect.
Indeed.
So this story kind of influenced what we're going to segue into reviewing now, which is Superman the Red Sun, correct?
Yeah. So I have a trade of this. This, I think, was originally published in 2003. And writer Mark Miller had said he was inspired by Superman number 300 that he read as a kid. So it's like, oh, I get it.
It all makes sense now.
Now it's all becoming clearer. So the story starts in 1953, and President Eisenhower announces the existence of a Superman who landed in Ukraine 30 years ago. And he has superpowers that really outmatch the U.S. military apparatus at that time. And he said, no, not only is he super, has super abilities, but he is the, quote, the champion of the common worker, of Stalin, of socialism, and the Warsaw Pact. So he is everything that, the United States was scared to death of in the 50s. And Eisenhower basically makes the decision, well, who cares about the CIA and the military? I need someone who can help us defeat the Superman, which everyone is looking at as a weapon. And so he hires Lex Luthor to create the anti-Superman program. Lex basically, who by the way is married to Lois Lane, a side bit of the story that just, if I have one thing to say about both issues, they both really don't do Lois Lane's character justice at all. It's sad, but we can get into that. But so what Lex does is he arranges to have a Soviet missile crash into Metropolis, and knowing that the Superman, will save the day, which he does. And during that event, Superman meets Lois Lane very briefly, and they have, it's coming up. They have a little meeting of the minds moment. See, that's a nifty little issue,
Yeah.
Look at the hammer and sickle thing, and it's just really creative. And there he meets Lois, and they kind of have don't I know you from somewhere? Or I should know you, basically. So he meets Lois, and then Lex eventually fishes that missile out of the water. And then time passes, and Superman, not happy to just have a statue built in his honor. Back in Moscow, they're giving him a parade because that's what they do. And he zips. Oh yeah, and then it's Superman Day, and they have a ball. They have like a gala, and there you see that the Amazons are allies with Russia, and Joseph Stalin is hitting on Wonder Woman's mom, and she is putting him in his place wonderfully. And Wonder Woman is all goo-goo eyes at Superman, and as his wont, he is completely oblivious to this. And Wonder Woman is kind of just a flakier version of her normal self in this, I think. But he's not. He's like I say, he's kind of oblivious to Wonder Woman, but he's super tuned in to a character named Peter, who is Joseph Stalin's illegitimate son, who happens to be the head of the secret police. And his super hearing leads him to this field 200 miles away, where drunken Peter is shooting at scarecrows because he's really upset that Daddy Stalin has taken a shine to Superman, and Peter is no longer first in line to assume the presidency if and when Stalin dies. And then you learn a little bit more about pissed off Peter and how he basically gives you the tale of of how he's been busy getting rid of dissidents in the Soviet Union. And then we have a nifty little backstory and introduction of how he killed the dissidents, these two dissidents, and left their son alive like Batman. So we get this nifty little couple-page origin story of the Russian Batman. So we know we will see him later, and the nifty part with the little bats there and everything.
Very cool.
Yeah. Superman, after that, he races back to Moscow because Stalin has been poisoned, and pissed off Peter vows revenge on whoever poisoned him. At first I thought it was Peter who did it, but I guess I don't think so. So meanwhile, Lex has made a bizarro Superman calls him Superman 2. Look at that.
Huh.
And so basically, eventually the two Supermen are duking it out in Great Britain, where they cause an immense amount of destruction and death. And they also cause an accidental nuclear missile launch. And it's Bizarro Superman who sacrifices himself to save the citizens of the world. And there he goes up there.
Interesting.
Yeah, Lex is pretty humiliated by that defeat, and then is going to devote the rest of his life to anti-Superman stuff, and he kills all of his employees at Star Labs because they know, how he does things. And so he, like I say, he's going to vow to destroy Superman, who in the meantime had a chance encounter with his old hometown girlfriend, Lana Not Lang, Lazazazos or somebody like that. And it's then that Superman decides that, okay, I'm going to have to take the presidency of the Soviet Union because Lana is telling me how people need help and I'm all about helping people. And so, okay, I'll be the president after all. And that ends the first book in this trilogy.
Good review.
Yeah. So
I
that's how it starts.
I also, and although he'll probably think that I did it on purpose, I forgot to acknowledge that Tim the Comic Collector is in our live chat from work. So.
Oh, now we see what's important.
Yeah, now he's here.
Your work.
Okay, so I'll start out with issue number 2, and you're right on the right page that I want you to be, Tony.
Perfect.
You were supposed to steal Moscow, not Stalingrad. Superman lives miles away from Stalingrad. God, I would expect a level 12 intelligence to be able to understand a blasted road map. That's how we start out this issue 2, with Lex Luthor talking about Brainiac. He's interrupted by Superman, who is looking for Brainiac. Superman heads off into space because Brainiac has a head start. He's after the shrunken and now bottled city of Stalingrad. Superman returns to Luthor with the core Brainiac unit and the bottled city in hopes that he has a way to restore the city, but he doesn't. So this becomes the one failure and a source of great guilt for Superman. So this issue takes place in the 1970s. And this is a lot different than the 1970s that we're aware of. John F. Kennedy is president of the United States, having replaced the tragically slain Richard Nixon, who won the 1960 election but was assassinated in 1963. Luthor has devised and executed several plans to throw out Superman, none of which worked. A lot of these failed supervillains are in the Superman Museum in Moscow. The United States and Chile remains independent from the Soviets, and both are on the brink of collapse, while President Kennedy is forced to grant independence to Georgia. The Superman-led Soviet Union has grown without resorting to war and has virtually eliminated poverty and disease, but at the expense of infringing on individual liberties. And Superman is fast becoming a big brother-like type figure. A brain surgery technique that turns dissidents into obedient drones or Superman robots is now in use. So one strong person in the resistance is this orphan boy that Sarah talked about in the previous issue. He's now a grown man and the head of a network that seeks the abundance forced upon the people by Superman's system as little more than oppression. Their persistent success in avoiding capture is a thorn in Superman's side. Peter suggests killing him, but Superman insists that this utopia will not be built on the bones of my opponents. That was Comrade Stalin's way, not mine. course, that offends Peter, as Stalin was his illegitimate father. We're going to cut to Themyscira, where Wonder Woman gets ready to meet up with Superman. They've kind of become a duo, and they're using their superpowers to save lives in addition to the ambassadorial and governing duties that they both have. We'll go back down to the Daily Planet next. Lois Luthor succeeds Perry White as the new editor-in-chief for the failing newspaper. Her estranged husband continues to work feverishly on his obsession to defeat Superman. James Olsen, the Pentagon's anti-Superman ambassador, who is likely to become their next director of the CIA, is working with Luthor. Luthor pushes off anniversary plans with Lois so they can meet with President Kennedy and his new wife, Norma Jean. Of course, we know that would be Marilyn Monroe. He's anxious to learn details of an extraterrestrial that the U.S. captured in 1947. There's an object that was recovered from the dying alien's finger, which has particular interest for Luthor. So now we cut back to a one-page with Superman and Wonder Woman. Once again, there's feelings that Wonder Woman has for Superman, but he just sees her as a comrade, and he's oblivious to her love for her. Now, Comrade Peter Roslow is the head of the KGB. There he is there. He's a passenger in a reckless vehicle that dives off of a bridge. The driver pulls him out of the car and into the underwater entrance to the cave. Batman is waiting for him, understanding that Peter wants to talk to him. So the cave is soundproof and cloaked using cutting-edge military technology that Batman stole from their bases. Peter tells Batman that Lex Luthor and his CIA friends want Batman to kill Superman, and they have the means to properly finish him off. Defeating Superman would put Peter in control. Batman, knowing Peter murdered his parents, agrees to the plan to get Superman out of the way, but then warns Peter that he's coming after him so hard and fast that nothing on Earth will be able to stop him. Peter tells him that he can try. So the plan starts to play out in this next section. There is a birthday celebration for Superman, and it's noticeably detected that Wonder Woman is missing. During this celebration, we see a glimpse of Lana, who still protects Superman's childhood identity. Well, instead of the fireworks that should be there to celebrate Superman, the bat symbol is lighting up the sky that sets the plan into motion. We see Wonder Woman has been captured in her lasso and is being used as bait. Superman arrives, and they attempt to zap his powers with rays that imitate the light of Superman's native sun. Batman is equipped with a bomb attached to his skeleton. The two exchange blows, and that goes on for a couple pages, and the plan appears to be working. Eventually, Superman is captured and confined powerless inside a basement with the same red rays beating down on him. So he calls out to Wonder Woman and begs her to do whatever it takes to break free and to save him. After much struggle, she is able to break the lasso and free herself. She destroys the machine producing the rays that are keeping Superman powerless. So he emerges stronger as ever and asks Batman who set him up. Batman tells him that it was Peter who betrayed him before he pulls the pin on the bomb attached to his skeleton, thus committing suicide. Wonder Woman seems to be seriously injured, her hair turning instantly white after breaking the bonds of the lasso. Now we head to New Mexico, where Luthor and JFK are arriving at Abunsur's ship. And we see Dr. Luthor, Lex Luthor, finding out about the Green Lantern, and the accompanying ring. They got an aging Marilyn Monroe.
With the little dog.
Yep. So now we'll start wrapping up this issue. Superman's grip on the people becomes tighter. Barely no decision can be made without his permission in some form or another. Mostly the population was grateful and obedient, but there was some resistance, with Batman becoming a martyr symbol. Diana's unable to speak for long months after saving Superman, and her resentment to him starts growing. Peter is turned into a Superman robot. Brainiac is reprogrammed into Superman's aide, and Superman starts building a fortress in Siberia known as the Winter Palace. And that's the end of issue 2.
All right. I'm going
to hand it off to Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to trail things off here.
Yeah.
with issue 3. If it wants to load, here it comes. A lot of things I didn't know. I mean, I knew this story existed, but there are some things that you come back again with it several years later that stick out to me a little bit more. But I'll get to that. But yeah, so in the Soviet Union, this is like in the future now. So I forget what time frame it's in, but things are mostly peaceful for the most part. I mean, there is some resistance. They have the Batmen is what they're calling themselves now because Batman died, and he actually reprogrammed some of the captured Batmen. So now they, if you look here in this panel, they're just mopping the floor, polishing the whatnot, and then you have this C-3PO like Brainiac. Just looking at this Brainiac here, it kind of reminds me of C-3PO. Just he's kind of like an aide, he gives advice where advice is due, which I thought was pretty unique. And one thing that I've noticed about, because now that I've seen your guys' issue, this scene, it plays out I think once in every issue, the chess.
Yep.
Someone playing chess against some kind of robot. Now Lex Luthor is the president of America. He's been elected, and things turn around in America like almost instantly. Crime goes down, economy explodes, jobs, people are starting to work, take care of themselves, take care of their prosperity is just through the roof, which is, counteractive to what the Superman communists want to do. So that's going to be a big problem. And keep in mind that he's also married, like President Luthor is married to Lois Lane, or First Lady Lane. Where's that cool panel? Right here. We're going to skip ahead. I'm going to talk about the Green Lantern here. This is still Hal Jordan. And he's got tremendous willpower, obviously, because he's the Green Lantern. But it's not the type of willpower that, we know Hal Jordan for. During the Cold War, the many skirmishes that the Soviet Union and the United States had, Hal Jordan was captured as an American POW and was severely tortured. And where he gets his willpower from is during his imprisonment, he built a prison in his mind using his willpower. So it's a completely warped, different sense of willpower, where in the Green Lantern we're used to, the Hal Jordan, everything is cool, calm, everything he calculates, like his willpower is second to none. But in this timeline, he still has the same amount of willpower, but he's pretty reckless with it. And we'll see what comes to that. So they said, we're going to go after Superman. We're going to kill him. We have this, super secret weapon. So let's full frontal assault. Let's bring down Superman once for all. Lois Lane is in Themyscira talking to Wonder Woman, and we figured out why Wonder Woman looks so sick. When she broke her lasso, that was a gift from the gods. And when they figured out that she broke one of the gifts from the gods, they took all of her other gifts away. So she is aging rapidly. She can still fly. She's still got a little bit of that superhuman strength, but it is like she is not what she was at her prime. She's not looking so hot. And I found that kind of funny. It's Wonder Woman. She's going to live forever. Not this Wonder Woman. The gods have cursed her, so to speak. So her clock's ticking.
Power rescinded.
Yeah, power rescinded. Oh, geez, where was I at right here? Yeah, so Brainiac and Superman are talking about, to bring the world in. We're so close to having world unity. It's just the United States that are holding out. Like, this is it. We can strike at them. We can get at them. We can take over the United States. We can execute President Luthor, and finally the United States will fall in line, and we'll all be communists. It'll be so cool. Brainiac has this calculation that he's trying to show Superman, look, we can mass chaos. They'll come begging. They'll come knocking out the door. And who shows up? President Luthor himself shows up inside the Winter Palace, the Fortress of Solitude, so to speak. And he's like, "Hey, Superman, what's going on? Like, I heard you're going to attack America." We cut to the Green Lantern Corps, and how do I explain this? The Green Lantern Corps that we know it doesn't technically exist in this sector, but they did have Abinsur's ring, and Hal Jordan's willpower is so strong, he creates his own Green Lantern Corps, and all of the Green Lantern Corps members are here. John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, like all the Earth-based Lanterns are here. I think this is pre-Jessica Cruz, and Simon Boss, so they're obviously not part of it. But even those characters themselves, your John Stewarts and whatnot, like they are not what they're just soldiers. They're just dudes in this corps. They don't have any of their cool personality traits. They're just basically drones. Superman and Lex Luthor are talking about the Superman Museum, and you get this.
Look at Darkseid down there.
You can see Darkseid, and way over here, there's a little cameo by Crypto.
Oh yeah, Crypto
off to the side, and we never know what's going on with Crypto. He's talking about, I have a plan to bring you in. It's going to be cool. I'm gonna beat you, Superman. And just like that, Brainiac grabs a hold of him and starts to drag him off, and he's going to assimilate him and give him one of those mind chip things. And like, listen, Superman's like, I do not want this. Don't kill him. And Brainiac's like, no. I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to give him one of those cool Superman memory card things. And we won't have to fight the United States. They'll just bend to our will because we have their president, on speed dial, basically. It's connected to the Superman network. Superman's a little hesitant of it. He doesn't know what to do. Here comes the Green Lantern Corps. They're going full battle at the Soviet Union. They're bringing them down. No holds bar. Superman's like, I got to get out there. I got to fight. But Superman is just tearing through the Green Lantern Corps. And Superman is pretty smart. And keep in mind that Hal Jordan is reckless in this timeline. He has no plan, no calculation. It's just full throttle, full force into the mission. And it comes back to bite him. So all the Green Lantern Corps members contain Superman in this big safe. And the way the Green Lantern Corps is structured, they all base their powers off of Hal Jordan's ring. And for a brief moment, Hal Jordan hesitates and doesn't concentrate, and Superman breaks free, which causes all the other Lanterns to have the same kind of thing. They all hesitate, all that good jazz. Superman, domino effect, takes the ring from Hal Jordan, leaving all of his Lantern Corps members just grounded. Nobody's injured, which is kind of cool. Superman eats the Green Lantern ring. You see him pop it down his mouth and just kind of swallows it. He gets a call from ground control. It says, "Hey, look at this. The Amazons are coming." And Superman's like, "Whoa, we're supposed to be friends. What are you doing?" And Wonder Woman says, "Listen, like I've been at your side this whole time. I don't understand why you just ignore me. Like, I loved you, all this other stuff." And Superman's like, "I don't care. I do whatever I want for the Soviet Union. Like, love has nothing. I love the people." So the United States says, "Oh yeah, check this out. We're coming in too with all the Superman villains. We got Doomsday. We have Chemo. We have
Parasite.
We have it's
not Killer Frost, is it?
No, it's the electric girl. What the heck is her name? Her. And one other person I can't quite make out who it is, with a white cape and a red suit. Yeah, I can't quite make out who it is. Superman, it's nothing. Brings them all down. Just eradicates them. And Superman, being the, he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He sees, Lois Luthor, the First Lady, and he says, "Listen, you got to get out of here." Livewire, that's who it was. Livewire. I couldn't remember who it was. Thank you for that. You got to get out of here. Like, the place is going to go wrong. You're going to get hurt. I don't want you to hurt. Please leave. And she says, I'm not going anywhere. I've got something that'll bring you down. And it just happens to be a brown manila envelope. And she says, listen, you can read this envelope right now. Just read it. Just read it. All I want to do is read it. And he reads it. And Superman has like this, he's going through some kind of trance. He read this thing. And he realizes all these puzzle pieces are kind of domino effect falling into place. Do you guys know what it says?
Yes.
Yeah, I read the issue.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, it's a very short note, but it kind of hits Superman, where it hurts. And it says, why don't you just put the whole world in a bottle? And Superman's like, oh, have I become this dictator? Like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't how I wanted the world to be. I'm no better than Brainiac. I beat Brainiac, and what's wrong with me? And then, just speaking of the devil, here comes Brainiac, fighting off the U.S. Air Force, and he's like, yo, what's going on? You're supposed to be. And he's like, nah, I'm just kind of gonna do what you never did. Big epic Brainiac Superman fight, and at the end we realize it's Lex Luthor inside of Brainiac. When Brainiac simulated him, Lex Luthor was in there hacking away at not hacking, but hacking away at Brainiac's operating system, I guess, is what we'll call it, and takes control of Brainiac. So Superman is like, listen, I'm just going to kill Brainiac. But Lex Luthor says, listen, that was a really dumb idea. You shouldn't have done that. This is kind of like my, ace in the hole. When Brainiac's ship explodes, it's going to decimate the entire planet. It's going to kill every living thing. And what they give, like 15 million square miles, which puts it just at the edge of the universe. And he's like, way to go, Superman. You just killed the whole planet because you don't think about it. You just do things. So Superman's like, I'm going to finally do something about it that I never did before. I'm just going to sacrifice myself, fly to the edge of the universe, and drop this thing off so it explodes. And that's exactly what happens. It explodes. Lex Luthor says, checkmate, Superman. And, for the first time in history, communism falls. Everyone rallies around President Superman. All the statues, not President Luthor, all the Superman statues fall. Lex Luthor has defeated Superman. And, as time goes on, many descendants later from Lex Luthor, he's been dead. I think we're like 50. Or hold on, I forgot about this part. So at Lex Luthor's funeral, we see, Lois Luthor now kind of looking around in the crowd and spots this guy who looks suspiciously like Superman. And this is like a Clark Kent, esque disguise that he puts on right at the end of the story to show her like, hey, I'm still around. I'm just not Superman anymore. I'm just a dude. Cut to several generations later. Lex Luthor's 50th, let's say, 50x great grandchildren. The planet is dying, so they have this baby, right? And they're going to load it into a rocket. Tell me if you heard this one before. Put this baby into a rocket and blast it off into this gravity. I think what they call it, some gravity hole or something. And we cut to Ukraine in Russia and the Soviet Union in 1938, where this rocket crashes down in the middle of a cornfield, and there's a baby inside this rocket landing inside of the Soviet Union in the 1930s. So, which makes this world's just going round and round and round and round. It's a never-ending story. So,
Hi to Stephen Spock, who's joined us. Appreciate it. So something that was cool about this issue too, Tony, Lex Luthor had discovered a way to send people into this other dimension, a phantom zone, so to speak. Too. And that's cool. I love how they take the classic thing. Like there's certain things that are always going to be associated with Superman, like a Fortress of Solitude, a phantom zone, certain villains, and how they rework them to make them flow into the story. That's what I enjoyed a lot. And I also enjoyed seeing homages to so many classic things. Like we saw a panel earlier that was a tribute to Action Comics #1 with the guy running because the car was up in the air. And we saw Superman #1 in the story that Shebab reviewed within that classic pose. And I love seeing all those homages throughout there. What did you guys think?
I love the art in this thing. Just on its own, in addition to the, it's a constant thread of Easter eggs, for Superman fans throughout the whole thing. Who's going to show up and what are they going to be doing and how are they going to be turned on their axis a little bit. But I thought that I really liked the Russian iconography and how they built that into the Superman character and the look, the costume, the whole thing. I'm super impressed with this book. I really am. It's just a really, and I like someone else said, the Jackson Roy Kirk said vicious cycle. It's like, all of this has happened before and all of this will happen again. And
hi to Jamie, J Hood Creative. Jamie, thanks for stopping by.
If you pop me up one more time there, Lasso. I want to, for those of you who are keeping tabs, this all takes place in Earth 30. This is the storyline where this is plucked right out of. So this is in accordance, if you're keeping track on our DC multiverse map, this is Earth 30, where all this takes place, which is kind of neat. So there's, from what I understand, there's other stories, not just this one. Well, yeah, there's more stories than this one, but the Soviet Flash story I thought was pretty cool. If you haven't checked that one, I haven't read that one in a while, but yeah, this takes place on Earth 30 for those of you who are keeping tabs at home. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Have either one of you seen the movie version of this?
I have not.
No.
I've seen clips, but I haven't read the whole thing.
I think I have seen it. I think I have, but I can't say 100%. But it definitely, after reading this, makes me want to watch the animated movie version of this. And it also makes me want to get the Wonder Woman Funko Pop from Red Sun and with her in that outfit.
There's a Funko Pop?
Yes, there's a Funko Pop.
Oh.
There's a Funko Pop for everything.
Spending more of her money. she can't get near me without spending money.
I'm telling you, I don't know why I say yes to these things with you, Ryan. I just have one teeny tiny little thing. Talking about the homages, I thought when the Green Lantern showed up that his face was drawn as it looked like Enemy Ace. For those of you Silver Age fans, he just looked, it's like they were doing a twofer. You know what I mean? Yes, you've got the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps, but man, that guy that was Enemy Ace. And is it Joe Kubert who drew those?
Yeah, it was.
I thought that was a nice little touch in there too. So there's really something for everybody.
Yeah, and I think it was my story, and if it was, I failed to mention it. We did get a cameo too of Oliver Queen. In these 3 issues, so that was kind of cool too. But on a 5-star scale, let's go around. We'll start with Tony. What are you going to give it out of 5?
Yeah, this is a classic Elseworld story, and from my opinion, I think it's one of the more popular ones. So everything about this is awesome. 5 out of 5.
Okay. And Shebab?
I'm going to give it. Can I get a 4.5?
Yep, you can.
The only thing holding me back is the treatment of Lois Lane in this is just kind of, she disappears, and also there's a lengthy kind of where Perry White is calling her babe and Tootsie, and it just kind of goes on a little longer than it really needs to. And it doesn't help the story at all.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite books. I really, like a trade thing. I really like it, and so it was fun to reread it. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for me.
I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5 as well. Yeah. And one thing that I really like about this that we haven't mentioned yet is the style. Because here on Fanboys, a lot, especially this year, we have been reading these Elseworld stories that are longer issues than normal. And each one of these were just a little over 50 pages. But recently, the ones we've been picking have been so wordy and just it's so much to digest.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because we're consuming it all at once. But what I liked about this story was although it was longer, it wasn't overly wordy.
Yeah.
And it was the right balance between letting the art express and the dialogue.
Yep.
And I liked other things too, like seeing, they mentioned the fact that President Kennedy became the first president to have a divorce and get remarried, and it was Marilyn Monroe that he remarried. And I like little nudges like that too. So that's why I'm going 4 out of 5. Now, one thing I do want to comment, I want to bring back up is I Collect a Lot, who said, I'm so glad you're reviewing this. I have issues 2 and 3 and never cracked them open, didn't want to stress the spines. This is all because of Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe. This was her pick, so all the credit goes to her. So good job in picking out a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad glad you guys were up for it, because I really enjoyed it. I really did.
I did too. So that's awesome. So as we get ready to wrap up this Fanboys Live and the retro review, Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe, we'll start with you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel again, if you got anything that just came out or is coming up? Well, and give us a book show as well, and we'll start with you.
Yeah, I don't have, although the super mansplaining thing is giving me a good idea. So I'm going to work on that for my channel at some point. I do have a little video up about Little Lotta and Little Dot. So I kind of leave the superhero realm for that. And again, I have Sleepy Reader to thank. But in terms of stuff that has come over the transom for me recently, I've got a couple things. My friend Luxinda Swirl, many of you who watch my channel know of her. Yeah. She makes actually these beautiful handmade tumblers.
Yeah. Her Swamp Thing one is amazing.
Yeah. And so she's on the YouTube, and if you want a custom made tumbler, she's your gal. My birthday was recently, and
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Luxinda sent me this Superman collectible comic book. It's the first day issue of the Superman stamp. So this is mint in the package. And it's so funny because she had it and just had it in her stuff, and she found it. She's like, well, I know who would like that. So she sent it to me, and I opened it up. I was like, oh my God, I had been wanting to get one of these things. But you can't get your mitts on it for less than like $45 or $50. So
yeah. And you got a nice sealed one.
Yes, and it will remain sealed. So there's awesome. That. The other 2 things I got, I finally picked up something at an estate sale. I go to estate sales and I never see comic books, but I did this time, and I picked them up, and I think someone on this channel will appreciate them.
Look at that.
Hey.
Love it. I love it. I've been hunting that thing down for a while. I've seen it in the wild, but the copies I see are they're so beat up or got some kind of mystery stain on the cover. So
yeah, this is not minty mint.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm not looking for a mint copy. I'm just looking for one that isn't like someone tried to chew on it or someone used it to wipe up some kind of spill.
Exactly.
Yeah. But my first Treasury edition came from Magic Lasso, and it was a Shazam one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
and now I've got more.
I had to get this because I remember I was a kid when this TV show was on, and I was like, oh my God, that silly TV show. So, and I gotta say, I never read Shazam, when I was a kid, because in my mind it was like, oh, that silly show. But so this was fun. But the real winner chicken dinner is this one.
Ooh, I got that one. Yeah.
Okay, here's how stupid I am. I didn't realize that Shazam stood for something. Like, it's an anagram.
Yeah, anagram, yeah.
I had no idea until I read this story. So this one I love it. I love there we go. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. This is a fantastic book. This is absolutely fantastic. And I love to read stuff big. And so to be able to experience the origin story in the, oh my.
Not a fan, by the way.
I picked this one right, didn't I?
Yeah,
you did.
Good job.
There's something about the treasury size that I think just makes everything feel like an event.
Oh God,
It doesn't feel like a comic book. It feels like an event, especially the original stories that came out treasury size.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, do you have the Superman versus Shazam treasury?
I
do.
Yeah,
now
that's
that I
awesome.
think about it, I do.
Yeah,
that's another one I'm looking for. Yeah,
again,
I see
Bronze Age Brian. It's great to
What's
have
up,
you
Brian?
stopping by.
I see that one too, but again, it's just like it is not the quality. I'm not looking. I understand they're never going to be mint, but
right,
pages are ripped, and it's just like I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, and the 6-year-old Jay Hood thought that the Shazam show was pretty dandy, and that's probably. And you know what? That's probably why he never hitchhiked. Don't hitchhike.
Don't do it. Traveling the highways and byways of the world, or whatever that was.
Yeah.
By the way, can I say hi to Spinner Rack Studios?
Oh yeah, there's Spinner Rack Studios. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You are not going to open that action and fold the cover over.
Do it online. Do on YouTube just to grind everybody's gears.
I think he's referring to one of these shows I was on. We were talking about treasury issues, and I showed my original Batman that I had bought as a kid, the red one, the red cover one, and it had been folded.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep it nice. So those are my books.
Thank all of you who have subbed up to Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe. Once again, the link to her channel, as well as all of the fanboys, even the ones that didn't show up tonight. The links are in the description for this video. So, Tony, what's going on in your channel and book show?
Yeah, my book show. Yeah, we just did Superman Red Sun, and for those of you who don't know, Dave Johnson did a lot of the cover art. So I actually got him to do. I think I've shown this once before, but it's just so cool. I love it. He actually did the limited edition Dark Knights Death Metal limited 3000 print, and I actually got 2 of them. So
Wow.
he signed them both for me. So they're going on an adventure, which brings me to my next book. For those of you who are big graded comic fans,
oh yeah,
CBCS announced magazine size slabs.
Really?
So this bad boy is headed in to get a signature verification by Brian Azzarello. So I'm going to send all 3 of these books in for a CBCS grade here very soon. So I'm going to make a video out of that. Not quite sure how it's going to work, but I'll figure it out. It's whatever. It's behind the scenes magic. We can make it work. But yeah, lots of YouTube shorts coming out. I'm trying an experiment, couple different experiments here to see if I can grab some of my magic that is gone. I used to get like 1K views on my YouTube shorts. I'm lucky if I break a dozen sometimes now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I can have 1K views, and then the next short will have 6. So just 6. I don't mean 6K, but 6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, total. Yeah, same thing happened to me. I had one that exploded, and the next time I had 7, and it was like I used the same hashtags and everything. Yeah, I guess YouTube don't like me. But yeah, so that's what I got coming up on my channel.
And I think CBCS also announced too some guaranteed
turnaround time,
or it's free.
Only on some of the higher tier, like
only on the higher tier. Okay,
only on the higher tier stuff. So not on everything.
But still, nobody else has done that.
It's brave of them. I wish them the best, and hope that they can make that service happen.
Without sacrificing quality.
Without sacrificing quality. And remember, this show is not sponsored by anybody, by the way. We just we don't play favorites on the this show. No. But this is much better than the competition,
So let me tell you what's going on with my channel. So this earlier this week, I dropped a video called My Quest to Get a JLA Avengers. So JLA Avengers, if you didn't know, Shabab, is a reprint that was just done by the Heroes Initiative as a fundraiser. They only printed 7,000. So getting DC and Marvel to come together after all these years to reprint this. And this is, George Perez, who was part of the creative team for this.
Yeah. Neat.
He's also on the board of directors for Heroes Initiative. So this is the fact that they would do this as a benefit was awesome. But with only 7,000 copies and 3,500 comic book stores, the math already tells you that not everyone's going to get one that wants one. And a lot of comic stores didn't get any. We were talking on Fanboys in the last couple of weeks that even before it went on sale, it was selling for over $200 on eBay.
Some of them went for close to 1,000.
Some went close to 1,000. And
wow.
It's crazy. A lot of comic stores also did auctions too, or raffles, or something that benefited the Heroes Initiative. But in my latest video that I dropped this past week, it was my quest to get one. So I talked about that. I've done some other YouTube shorts, including Back Issue of the Week. I've got a new one of those dropping tomorrow. That it's not actually DC. It ties into Marvel and Moon Knight, which they just dropped the first episode of their new series.
That's a TV show. I knew that.
Yes. Good job. So, and then Tuesday, I have a video dropping Tuesday afternoon. I have another AOK from Austria, from Varangian Vigilante. Wow. So you're going to see some more foreign edition comic books. And he sent me for the first time ever my first non-Wonder Woman AOK from him. So
I didn't know they existed.
Yes.
So that's what's coming up on my channel. But for a book show, I'll make myself big. I was talking about my quest to get a JLA Avengers. If you've seen my Instagram today or watched the video already, you know I was successful.
Oh.
So
wow.
Shout out to Westfield Comics, who took care of me, cover price as well. And at first they told me they wouldn't be able to get me one. And then they came back later on and said, we've got one for you if you still want it. I couldn't hit reply fast enough.
Right.
So,
what was the LCS that gave you the hookup?
Westfield Comics. You can visit them at westfieldcomics.com. They're my regular LCS.
Okay, so they're local to you. Okay.
So I have a relationship with them. But I still thank them because I knew there were a lot of people in this world that didn't get one. And I feel very appreciative to have one. So.
And apparently now you're quite rich. So.
Yeah, his mortgage is paid.
They did tell me though. They told me as they handed it over, they said, we better not see this on eBay. So I said, you're going to see it on my bookshelf. That's where it's going.
Now, if only that came out sooner, you could send that in to Mr. Perez and
yeah, I know.
But
so
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think the opportunities are there, but that's okay. Because, they did offer fans the chance to record a video to him up to a minute long in positive nature. And I did participate in that. So I'm happy to be able to at least get another message out to him since I wouldn't be able to visit with him one-on-one. So that meant a lot to me. Cool. And I was thankful for that opportunity. So
that's
kind of what's going on in everybody's channel. So silver-haired Bronze Age babe, always a pleasure collaborating with you and hearing your insights. And congratulations on some new subscribers. And please come back and hang with us again. You saved our night. You put on a cape because you're the hero of this show.
Why, that's all right.
Do you have an Instagram?
Yes, it's, what is it? I do. I post on there sporadically. I know Ryan knows it, so
yeah, I'll look it up here.
Yeah, and I take some iPhone photos of my covers, and I also alert people to my videos when I remember to do it. So yeah, it's I cover the same part of the waterfront. Yeah.
It is silver_haired_bronze_age_babe.
Easy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Underscore what? I'm sorry, I missed it.
But it's been an absolute pleasure. The fanboys will tell you that when we have talked about, potential guests on the show, you were the first name that always comes out of my mouth as a guest.
Thank
And to
you.
have you on the show finally
Oh,
was awesome for me.
I'd love to come back.
I have a video recommendation for you. You said you were open to recommendations. I got a perfect one for you.
Okay.
You and Silver Age Dave have
Oh.
to somehow make a video together.
Oh, I would love it.
That would be the coolest. Because you guys have similar sounding names a little bit, and you guys cover very similar content.
I need to reach out to him because I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, home of the University of Michigan, and he lives down in Toledo, which is a whopping 30 minutes from me.
Oh my gosh, you guys are practically next door neighbors. 30 minutes in the Midwest. I was born and raised in Iowa, so I know. Yeah. 30 minutes is like, I could ride my bike. That's nothing. That's in a blizzard, like whatever. That's like going for a walk.
It's
like
easy.
30 minutes, I can do that. That's no problem.
Yeah, and I keep thinking, I just need to reach out to him because I want to go see that damn comic book room of his.
And he said, anyone who's welcome to come by, just give him a heads up. We'll give you the tour. And I made a trip, and I wanted to swing that way. I just couldn't, but someday I'm gonna go out there. He comes over, he crosses the border here into Pennsylvania every now and then.
Yeah,
I would love to try to catch him because he runs a lot of marathons. I think that'd be fun. But you guys should collab on something.
Yeah, well, he's like I say, he is you can tell he was kind of the inspiration for how I kind of do my videos. So
hello, YouTube. I started watching him. He was one of the first channels I subscribed to and watched on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to catch his content enough live, but it's funny. We're ending the show. We're talking about someone else's channel who's not even here, but how much of an impact he had, on a lot of the community. He's still alive. He's still with us. I don't want to talk negatively. Yeah. He's still a huge part of the community. For the record.
Thank you guys in the chat for joining us. If you watched on the rewind, thank you as well. If you're in Brazil and today's your birthday, we hope that it was a fantastic one.
Because there's only one person in Brazil that has a birthday today.
And Tony, I think we're on your channel next, correct?
Sure.
That's my thing.
Absolutely. Not, come on.
We'll be on somebody's channel.
We'll be on somebody's channel.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Have a fantastic and super week.